I'm a music producer from Los Angeles. I've been in the industry for about 5 years now, and although I'm still working out of my bedroom studio, things are going pretty good. As a producer, I'm used to working on tracks non-stop, but one night, a routine session turned into an experience that still haunts me. It was a typical Tuesday night. I was working on a track with only the company of several empty energy drinks thrown around my room. I had been working on a track for weeks, and that night, everything seemed to click. The mix sounded incredible, each element in perfect harmony, the bass deep and powerful, the melodies crystal clear. I sat back in my chair, exhausted but exhilarated. I knew I had nailed it. This was the kind of track that could make a career. I saved the project, closed my eyes, and felt a wave of satisfaction wash over me. I decided to call it a night, and as I lay in bed, I couldn't stop thinking about the track, eager to give it a fresh listen in the morning. The next day, I woke up with a sense of anticipation. I brewed a cup of coffee, sat down at my desk, and eagerly hit play. My heart pounded in my chest as I waited for the familiar, perfect sound to wash over me. But what came out of the speakers was nothing short of a nightmare. The bass, once deep and powerful, was now a distorted, muddy mess. The highs, which should have been crisp and clear, were harsh and piercing, like a cat trying to play the banjo. The melodies became the anthem to my disappointment. Everything I had worked so hard on had been twisted into something unrecognizable. Desperation set in as I frantically tried to tweak the mix, adjusting levels, EQs, and effects, but the more I tried, the worse it got. I even asked a couple friends to listen and give me feedback, hoping that maybe it was just my ears playing tricks on me. But once they heard it, they immediately started jumping me and calling me names like No Deucer and Barry the Bad Beat Brewer. Producing music is my passion, but that morning reminded me of the fragility of the creative process. And every time I sit down to work, there's a small part of me that's afraid it could all fall apart again. My name is Jessica. I'm a bedroom producer from Chicago. And about 6 months ago, I was working on this beat for weeks, pouring my soul into every sound. Late nights, skipped meals, isolating myself from friends and family, all to create something truly unique. Finally, at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, I finished it. My hands were shaking as I exported the file. Without thinking, I uploaded it to SoundCloud right away. I remember feeling this rush of pride as I hit the upload button. If only I knew what was coming. I woke up the next day to my phone practically exploding with notifications. At first, a wave of excitement washed over me. This was it. The day my life changes. But as I started reading the messages, that excitement twisted into something dark and sickening. There, right in front of me, was my beat, but it wasn't on my profile. Some account called Super Flame McGee had uploaded an identical track. I felt like I couldn't breathe. The room started spinning as I played Super Flame McGee's track. Every hi-hat, every bass line, every tiny detail I had agonized over. It was all there, exactly as I'd created it, but under someone else's name. With trembling fingers, I messaged Super Flame McGee, thinking there must be some mistake, but their response sent ice through my veins.
Nice try, Thief. We both know who really made this.
Over the next few days, I watched in horror as the track gained traction. Each notification was like a knife twisting in my gut. Comments praising Super Flame McGee's genius. Every bit of recognition that should have been mine was going to this imposter. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those SoundCloud play counts climbing higher and higher. I tried desperately to prove the beat was mine. Project files, work in progress videos, anything I could think of, but nobody cared. To them, I was just some clout chaser trying to steal his thunder. To all the producers out there, let my story be a warning. In this world, your worst enemy isn't writer's block or bad reviews. It's the constant, lurking possibility that at any moment, everything you've worked for can be stolen away in the blink of an eye, leaving you with nothing but the echo of what could have been. I'm a college student from Minnesota, and I do freelance music production on the side. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I feel like I've got a pretty good hang of it. At least that's what I thought before I met this particular client. I won't mention his real name because I'm still scared he'll find me. For the sake of this story, I'll call him Dracula. It all started last Friday. My class was dismissed early because of a hurricane. Honestly, I was kind of bummed until I saw the notification on my phone from an email. It was a new client, and the job looked like it was going to be a hole-in-one, a genre I love to produce at a price no one had ever offered me before. I responded right away telling him I would have the project back within 48 hours. As soon as I got to my dorm, I went straight to work. I got so caught up in the beat that I didn't sleep until 4 a.m. But to me, it was all worth it because I was doing what I was meant to do, creating the music I genuinely enjoyed making and getting paid for it too. I added some final touches before finally sending off the MP3 to Dracula. I waited by my phone for what felt like hours, and finally, I heard the distinct sound of my email notification. My stomach felt like a swarm of bees as I opened the email, but as I started to read, those bees turned into anchors. It was a long, terrifying list of revision requests. Each point seemed to claw at my favorite parts that I'd poured my soul into. I continued to scroll along the email, but it just kept going, each revision with a more agitated tone than the last. I thought it would end eventually, but I just kept scrolling, and I never stopped. I scrolled so long that I developed carpal tunnel. That was 23 years ago, but that email will never stop haunting me, because even as I say these words, I'm still scrolling.